Hello and welcome. What you are about to hear is an excerpt from an oral history interview collected by the Octavia Phelan Public Library as part of its Our Stories, Our Community project. The full interview this excerpt is taken from is available on CD at the Octavia Phelan Public Library main branch.
I'm Marcos Chavez, age 35. Today's date is March 4th, 2014, and we're in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I am Brian Young, age 27. Today is March 4, 2014, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
So, Brian, where are you originally from? Where did you grow up, and where were you raised?
I was born in Gallup, would you have it, and I grew up primarily in Fort Defiance during the school year. That's in Arizona, just a few minutes away from the Arizona-New Mexico state borderline. And during the summers, I would spend at my grandparents' place in Sawmill, and we have cattle up in Nozolini, so it's primarily in that region is where I grew up.
What was it like growing up in that area?
It was awesome. As a kid, there aren't that many. I guess growing up there wasn't as many electronical distractions as there are today, so it was a lot of playing, and I always had numerous cousins to play around with. So it was always just, there was something to do, a lot more so than today, I feel at the very least.
Right. And did you go to school in Gallup or in the area?
I attended the local public school until it was 6th grade middle school. Freshman year in high school at Winter Rock High School. And I got a full-ride scholarship to go to a college preparatory school in the East Coast in Lakeville, Connecticut, called the Hotchkiss School. And that's kind of been out there ever since for 8 years until I moved back here recently.
So what was the experience like going from a small place like Gallup in the reservation area to a place back east?
Traumatic. It was really, it was the first time I experienced culture shock. There have been times when I come to Albuquerque or Phoenix and, it's ooh, big city, and, there's always a brown face you can see, and, I didn't have to constantly say I'm Navajo, or I've always felt like at least there's someone around that knows what I was experiencing, but, when I first went out to my first year at Hotchkiss, it was just a fish out of water experience. It was hard to breathe, literally, physically, metaphorically. I did not have a lot of access to my culture, which I grew up in, and there were a bunch of important ceremonies. A bunch of my female cousins had Canal Dust that I could not attend because I was at school, and it was the strangest feeling being one of thousands of Navajos, and all of a sudden you're the only Navajo, or one of, I think it was 3 Navajos in an entire sea of just people. It was completely frightening.
I can imagine. So what did it take for you to adjust to being there? What kinds of things did you have to do?
I threw myself into the arts, into my education. There was a time when I really did not want to go back, and I told my grandfather this. He said, it's I don't like that school too much. I'm the only one there that is brown, or at least this shade of brown.
Right.
And everyone keeps asking me, can you speak Indian, and all these just, half knowing, or I guess, the good intention, but they come across as just biased, and ooh, do you live in teepees, and it was grating on my nerves. But I was telling him this, and then he hits me on the head and said, "If you're going to do that, you're going to give your brain to one of your cousins. They can use it." And he said, "I don't want to hear you say I don't like it. You're going to do this." And that was pretty much a turning point when I completely invested myself into getting my grades better and just trying to survive out there. And I found piano and just writing. really helped me get through that initial culture shock.
How did it come about that you were able to go there in the first place?
A recruiter from Hotchkiss actually came to my high school in my freshman year. I was in English class, and she was interviewing and saying, like, she was doing a presentation saying there is these schools out here that you can apply to. And at that time, I was really desperate to get off the reservation. Just emotionally, I was completely down, and I was literally drowning.
The Octavia Film Public Library is committed to providing open and wide access to information. Please visit one of our branches in Gallup, New Mexico. The music used in this podcast was Enigmatic by Ben Sound, available at www.bensound.com. Thank you for listening to this oral history. This is John Fortunato for the Octavia Film Public Library.